three-time Leadville 100 finisher as well. So, what we like to do here is have conversations with coaches and people like yourself to present conversations to our high school versions of ourselves. We want to give people the opportunity to hear things from people like yourself and coaches, maybe not necessarily just Division 1, but also highlight Division 2, Division 3, NAIA, so people know that there are lots of other schools out there where people can have success, be successful, and track and field and cross country is one of those areas where the stopwatch doesn't lie. If you're
Yeah.
good, you're good, and it doesn't matter what division you're in. We've seen it all the time. Division 2 division athletes have success at the national and international level as well. So we are excited to have you on and have a little conversation with you. So we do appreciate you joining us, taking some time out of your day.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Awesome. Awesome. So we are back on the track tonight with Sam Llaneza. He is a two-time Division 3 national champ. He is the 1500-meter outdoor champion from 2024, as well as the distance medley relay champion from the indoor season. He is a multiple time ODAC all conference athlete, and he is a member of the University of Lynchburg 9-time ODAC champion across the board. I'm assuming cross country, indoor,
Mhm.
and outdoor champion. Sam, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. Super happy to be here. I'm just ready to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about.
Awesome. Well, we are excited. And like I said, we like to highlight people that are doing amazing things, high performers like yourself. And so we want to get into you and your beginnings and how you got into running, but then also some of the good things that you guys got going on down at Lynchburg. So people know that there is a school in Virginia where there's a lot of good things happening, a lot of people running fast. And if people want to go and run fast, there are opportunities for them. So we're going to find out about all that stuff tonight from you.
Awesome. Sounds good. Where do you want to start?
Let's talk about your early beginnings. You know, we all have our origin stories. I got mine starting running because I wanted to win a fish tank. So I ran my first 5 mile race when I was 5, and I'm 48 and I'm still running races today. So, how did you get into running? How did it all start from you? Or did you take to it like a fish to water, or did someone poke and prod you to get into it? How did it all start for you?
Yeah, that's actually one of the questions I get a lot, which is pretty unique in a way because I didn't start running until my senior year of high school, actually. I played baseball my whole life. I actually wrestled too, out like all through middle school and high school. So I kind of have a little bit of connection with that with you guys as well. But yeah, I started my senior year of high school. I quit baseball to run outdoor track because I ran cross country. My teammates were like, dude, you have to run track. You have to run track. And I was like, I don't know. Like I've been playing baseball my whole life. I had a starting position and everything. And they're like, no, you have to do it. I promise you it's the right decision. And ended up, it probably was the right decision. I'm not really built like a baseball player anymore. I'm a little smaller, but I mean, it was awesome. I ended up running 4:31 in the mile and 2:01 in the 800. So pretty solid times to get me to run Division 3. Originally, actually, I went to a small Division 2 college in Wilmington, Delaware, and I didn't really enjoy my time there initially. So I reached out to the Lynchburg coach, Jake Reed, and I was like, any way I could, transfer next year? He's like, you know what? I can get you this semester. And I was like, okay, sounds good. And, I got there and the rest is, history now.
What originally got you to run cross country? Was that something you were doing to get in shape for wrestling?
Yeah, actually, he's been telling me since my freshman year of high school. I was like, man, like, you got the build of a cross country runner. Like, you're lanky, you're pretty long. And you see me running in the baseball field. I used to play baseball with him. He's like, you got the wheels to do it too. And I was like, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it. I told him every year from my freshman year of high school to my senior year. And he's like, you got to do it your senior year. Just come out and see if you like it. And I was like, okay, I'll come out. And I remember running my first 5K on the cross country course. And I think I ran like 23 minutes. And I was like, all right, this is not meant for me. He's like, no, just wait. You haven't trained at all. Like, you don't know what your potential is yet. And I'm like, okay. And I stuck through it and I got pretty good. I think I ran around 17 minutes, which for high school is it's okay. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I do have a little bit of a future in this. So that's how I got started initially.
Are you from around Lynchburg?
Um, I'm from like outside DC, so I'm
Okay.
from Manassas, Virginia, which is about 40 minutes from DC. Um, so I really didn't even know about Lynchburg until I was starting looking for schools, and then I kind of just stumbled upon it. My girlfriend actually told me, she was like, you should look into Lynchburg. I mean, they're a pretty good program. And I followed them on Instagram, and I saw their like Instagram stories and stuff like that, and I was like, this is a pretty cool program, and I wanted to be a part of it.
That original school you went to, were you running there?
So I initially was. So here's another story, just kind of off topic a little bit. But in high school, I wasn't making the best decisions academically. I was just kind of floating along, and I had really bad grades. So I wasn't able to run my first semester of cross country at Wilmington just because of how bad my grades were in high school. I didn't even know that was a rule until I found out the hard way, right?
Hmm.
And then that kind of gave me a big, flip in my head. I was like, all right, I've got to get back on like, the grind of school. And ever since then, I've been fine. I've had over 3.0 like, every year, but it just, I don't know what I was doing in high school. I was just floating along. Once I started running, it really changed like my life, honestly, like with school and like lifestyle, like being able to get good sleep, like eat well, like everything lifestyle, it kind of changed like a total 180. So I don't know where I'd be right now if I didn't start running. So totally glad I listened to my friend Justin Harefield if he's listening. Shout out to him because
Yeah.
I
Shout out
wouldn't
to
be
Justin.
shout out to Justin. I wouldn't be here without Justin. I'd probably still be playing baseball. Maybe I don't even know what I'd be doing. Yeah.
Does Justin still run?
Oh no, he doesn't still run, but which is funny. But I mean, he probably still runs for like casual fun, but not any big races or anything like that. He just hangs out. We still talk every day, not every day, but we still talk quite a bit. So
Right on.
Tim, what year did you graduate high school?
I graduated in 2019, so
Wow.
I'm a little old. Yeah,
No, you're not. You're talking to two old men. You're not old,
yeah,
son, sir. So 2019, 2021, was that the first All-American honors you got?
yeah. 2021. Technically, like NCAA didn't see that season as like eligibility because of like not enough schools being able to compete that year. Super weird rule. So basically, that whole year I got All American, yeah, but they gave that season back. So that's how I still have eligibility now. Yeah,
Okay. So
totally weird, but
yeah, and kind of lucky as well because you
yeah,
get another year because of it. That said, so 2019 is your first track season. 2021, you're a college All-American. At
yeah.
that point, did you kind of feel like a novice? Did you feel like Nick Swartzen and Grandma's Boy, like high score? Is that good? Like, what was the thought going through your mind when you became an All-American after 2 seasons?
Yeah, I don't know. I think initially I was like, "Where's my ceiling? Where's my ceiling? I don't know like how much I can get better." I mean, I learned like I wouldn't say the hard way, but I learned that progression isn't always just like linear. Sometimes it's up and down, and you do get slightly better, but it takes longer time to get better. I made a huge jump my sophomore year in 2021, and I kind of thought I'd make another huge jump. In reality, it's just like small little jumps. And you just have to keep being consistent to make those small little jumps, and have to be okay with seeing other people make big jumps and know that like it's not always going to happen to you again. And it just, you got to be consistent, put in the work, and you'll keep getting better. But making big jumps multiple times in a row it's really hard as a track athlete. I'm sure you guys know, like you probably made a big jump from high school to college your freshman or sophomore year, and then after that, just gets a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. So it was a humbling experience knowing that at first, but I mean, I totally came to like my senses in that and be like, hey, I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm still getting better. The team's getting better, which is kind of what more I care about, anyways, is the team getting to another level. So as long as that keeps going up, that's what's important.
So you bring that team aspect, and that was something that really caught my attention when I originally reached out to you and listened to some podcasts. You're really big on the team and how much that has helped you and how big that is for you. Does that come from kind of the baseball mentality, or do you just really like the people on your team and your coaches and believe in the system?
Yeah, I think it comes from a lot of different things. I think baseball, yes, like you can't win a baseball game with one player, obviously. So I think that plays a role, as well as like I'm a Christian, so I think that like God, wants us all to improve, and I don't believe in being like selfish or cocky in any way. That just kind of like throws that's no good. I don't like when people act all cocky and stuff like that. So, but I just want to like bring other people up, and I want to get into coaching as well. So I think if I can lead by example while I'm still running, people can, kind of look up to me in some type of way, and I can bring them up as well as bring myself up. So there's multiple reasons why the team is way more important than me, because I'll be gone eventually, and I want Lynchburg to still be, top 10 in the nation in cross country, and improving as people as much as they are improving as athletes as well.
Can you talk about the culture? I know that's a big thing. I've heard it mentioned a
Yeah.
few times, and with the coaches and the team. How impactful is that? How important is that? Was that something that was already rocking and rolling when you arrived, or is that something that's kind of built momentum as you and your teammates have all come together?
Yeah. I mean, for a cross country team or any team in general, honestly, you have to have leaders. And my freshman year, our coach calls these four guys like the Mount Rushmore of Lynchburg. And it was Reed Sharkey, this guy named Squid, that's his nickname, Sean, and Batch. These are the four guys. I mean, these names are probably, you guys, I mean, you probably don't know who these people are, but they meant a lot to us. And they really just like started this huge culture shift. Before them, it was like huge party culture, like party every weekend, get super drunk. Like we're gonna go and party and then run a long run the next day. And it just was terrible for recovery. People weren't getting better, and they kind of switched it a little bit. I'm not saying they didn't party at all, but it wasn't like a routine thing. It was more like, okay, special occasions or something like that, right? Or in college, you got to have fun sometimes. But um, I like looked up to them a lot, and I wanted to kind of be them in a way. And they always would hype me up and be like Sam, or they called me Nez. That's like my nickname on the team, Nez. And they'd be like, Nez, like you have so much potential, and you gotta like take over when we leave. Like you gotta keep building this. And I was like, I don't know how to do that, but I'm gonna try my best. And I've tried. I think we've came a long way since my freshman year, and I think they're the ones who started it, and I've kind of helped build it as well as like other people on the team. I mean, it's not just me, obviously, but um, I mean that's the huge thing, and supporting each other. Being there for people that aren't your top guys or top girls. Like it's they mean just as much as I do as a national champion or whatever. So that's the biggest thing. Like I try to reinforce like everyone matters. Even if you aren't like the best person for on a track standpoint, doesn't mean you can't be the best person culturally. It doesn't mean you can't be like the most supportive person on the team. Like those people make such more impact than a good runner on like the ODAC or national level. Like if you can't support people and build the program up, and you're just only trying to build yourself up, the program's not going to last, and it's not going to get better. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've tried to, I guess, instill into the program. And I think a lot of people have bought into that. And I think that's why we keep getting better. I mean, other things as well, obviously, but the culture being so strong, that's a huge role for sure.
Yeah, the culture is paramount to having a good, strong program and continuing year after year after year to keep that rolling. But from a training perspective, what's the secret sauce down at Lynchburg? What are y'all doing different than maybe the other teams in the ODAC or some of the other teams in the Mid Atlantic area? Because you've got some fast guys and you guys are doing great things. So, what's the secret sauce down there in Lynchburg?
Secret sauce. I think that's the funny thing is like everyone asks what's the secret sauce? what are you guys doing differently? I mean, I'm sure we are doing some things differently. I mean, we do a lot of core exercises, stability exercises, mobility to make sure you're not getting super tight. Um, but in general, our training isn't crazy. I mean, I run in the summer, I probably run around 80 miles a week, but I mean, you've probably seen many college kids run 80 miles a week. Um, I personally think that we mastered, not maybe not mastered, but we've gotten really good at our lifestyle. And when your lifestyle is, you're getting 8+ hours of sleep every day, you're able to, recover from big workouts um, that that are draining you, and you try to keep the stress to the lowest level possible. If you can maintain all of that, it doesn't matter what the secret sauce is. You can put any sauce on it, and it'll stick. Like, you'll get better. But I think just, yeah, mastering lifestyle is the most crucial part as a runner. I'm sure you have to train for a 100-mile race. Like, if you're not getting good sleep at night, like, you might not make it to the line. You might be wrecked from doing long runs or something like that. But that's the biggest thing that we do. I mean, we have certain workouts we do that maybe other schools don't. But I mean, you see national champions at every level and they all do different things. It's not necessarily the workouts or the runs they do. It's what they do when they're not running, which is just as important, if not more important.
Yes, lifestyle is a huge thing. Getting sleep, nutrition, all of that stuff matters so much. Do you have any specific dietary practices? Are you plant-based? Are you a carnivore? You just try to keep it clean? What's your diet looking like?
I just make sure, well, when the summer, mostly when I'm running like 80+ miles a week, I just try to eat as much as I can. Um, I think that the biggest problem is for some athletes is that they're not getting enough fuel because you're running a ton outside and it's super hot. You got to drink a ton of water, obviously, electrolyte drinks, and you got to make sure you're staying loose and not getting hurt and stuff like that. But no, I really don't have any certain diet or anything. I mean, it's fairly clean. I mean, I drink soda every now and then. I mean, I'm not like crazy person about it. I guess I'm not super crazy about my diet, but um, just getting enough to know that like I can train at a high level and I'm not going to be in a calorie deficit because I'm already like 140 pounds like soaking wet, so I can't lose any more weight. I'm going to get hurt. I don't want to get stress fracture or something like that. So it really just try to recover. Get 8 to 10 hours of sleep if I can every night. I mean, some nights it's not perfect, but you just gotta, do the best you can to be, the best athlete as you can.
Do you have a go-to post long run recovery meal?
Yeah, you know what? I don't necessarily have one, but I guess a go-to meal would be like right after I get back from a run, I'd have like 4 or 5 eggs, maybe some bacon, and then I don't like toasted bread, as like a lot of my friends know. They make fun of me for it. I don't like toasting my bread, so I just like plain like bread. I just like making like sandwiches with the eggs, and then yeah, some like bacon or something like that with some berries or some type of fruit. Pretty basic stuff. I mean, it's not, I'm not looking for like these different certain, things. I mean, I take iron. That's like the only supplement I'll take. But other than that, yeah, I'm not taking anything else.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
So talking about no secret sauce, I must ask because this has been the hot topic of our conversations when we get all the running coaches on here and the runners. Have you played with double threshold at all?
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming before you even said it. Yeah. So yeah, I've done double thresholds before. It's not even a secret sauce anymore. Everyone and their mom's doing it now. So yeah, in the summer we'll do probably a double threshold every 10 days. In season we probably do it once every 2 weeks, maybe once every 10 days as well. But yeah, we do them. It basically is set up as in, I'm trying to maybe explain it a little bit. So like a double threshold for us would look like in the morning we do like 2 mile rep, mile rep, 2 mile rep, and we take like 60 to 90 seconds easy jogging between each one, and we'd run probably right around 5 minute pace or so. And then in the afternoon we'd come back and we run like 4 or 5 by mile at 5-minute pace again. So it's nothing crazy. We might throw some strides in after, but it's really nothing crazy. It's just to get more volume on the day and not, have to waste another day in the week. We can focus on something else, training like later in the week. So it's not really a secret sauce anymore. I mean, everyone's doing it now. It works. It definitely works. I've seen people make huge jumps doing it, but I wouldn't say that's necessarily our secret sauce. But it definitely helps. Definitely helps.
Do you look forward to those days? Or you not? You seem like you're kind of over hearing about it.
Yeah. No. So I'm a like middle distance athlete, as you see. 1500, 800 is more of my event area, and then I had Chasen to train with all season, which is he's mostly a 5K 1500 guy, so stronger aerobic base than me, and I'd had to try to hang on to him while doing them. So maybe it's because I have to hang on to a guy that's whipping my butt every day. That might be a reason why I don't like him as much. But no, they're fine. I don't really strive on those type of workouts, but I know that they're like necessary for me for like getting better. I'm better at the little bit like faster things with like longer rest. That's more my cup of tea. So whenever I get one of those workouts, I'm pretty excited. But that doesn't come until like the spring season anyway. So I have to wait and be patient and just get the double T's in while we can in the winter and the early spring.
So talking about having to hang on one of your teammates during a workout, when I was prepping for this podcast, I saw you got a decent amount of teammates to keep you going. Do you guys race in practice? Coach have to slow you guys down? Do you guys elbowing each other when you're doing intervals and stuff?
I mean, my freshman year, I think maybe, we did that a little bit more than we were supposed to, but I think ever since then, I've kind of matured more as an athlete and kind of like known my paces and my effort to be running things. Like I know my threshold effort, and if I'm getting dropped that day and I'm running my effort, I'm like totally okay with it. I just know that some people are just better than me at things, and that's okay. I can live with that. And some people are worse than me at speed things, and they'll get dropped by me during that. It's just an even thing. But now we don't really race workouts. Maybe every blue moon we'll have a big workout and we want to get ripping on like the last couple of reps. But now we've came a long way in that aspect. We try to push each other in a healthy way, but not really racing workouts anymore. We save those for races.
Sam, for someone who got such a late start in running, you sound like you have a very high running IQ. And you mentioned those four seniors that kind of, helped you a little bit. Is this also something that the coaches have helped you with? Are you a student of the sport? Do you read things? Are you scouring different articles and those sorts of things as well?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like I said earlier, I want to get into collegiate coaching. So I'm in my coach's office quite a bit, just asking questions, wanting to know more. And Coach Jake Reed, he's done a lot for me as an athlete, especially as a coach, a future coach, hopefully. He's taught me so much. But yeah, I mean, I got into the sport pretty late. But ever since like I've seen how he's changed like people's lives as a person, not as an athlete, but as a person, that kind of made me want to be in that role. Like I want to, have a great impact on people's lives. And you can do a lot through running. You see your coach every day, multiple hours a day. It's like you can make such an impact on people. And I think that's, really cool. And yeah, I'm definitely a student of the sport. I I wouldn't say I'm like super obsessed with the sport. I have a good relationship with it, I think. I know when to, take a break and not really focus on the sport, but I also know when to lock in and try to like guide people in workouts or just like if they need some advice or something like that, I know when to lock back in and help them out. So I think it's a really good balance. I have a pretty healthy relationship with running, I believe at least. So I think I'll do it for the rest of my life, even if it's not, racing at such a high level. But maybe, like you said, you do 100 milers, like that's a big deal. I want to do one eventually. I got to do a marathon first, but um, eventually I want to get to a level where I'm, just loving the sport for just what it is, running.
Right on. So I'm curious, you mentioned wanting to get into college coaching and you have another year of eligibility and you have what I would consider still probably a pretty high ceiling considering that you got into it only as a senior in high school. Are you going to look after next year to try to run professionally and chase those avenues for a couple of years, or do you think you're going to look maybe to get a grad position and get right into the college ranks and start coaching, or do both?
Yeah. I
Or
appreciate
maybe
the
you haven't thought about
confidence.
it.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate the confidence that I could maybe go pro, but nowadays it's so hard. But you never know. If I make a huge jump, like I said, I made my sophomore year, I guess it could happen again. I think under 340 would be what that takes. So that's about 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds away from 1500. So if that happens, I can maybe, think about it. But no, my eyes have always been on coaching, and I'd rather, get a coaching job out of college than, worry about maybe trying to go pro or something like that. Coaching, I don't know. I find so much enjoyment in coaching. I coach on the side and help like high school athletes, some like graduated college athletes as well. Just like keep running and reach their goals. And I don't know, I find a lot of like joy in that. Running, I find joy in running. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It's something about like helping others that just, I don't know, brings out a new, I don't know, a new joy. I don't know.
Right on. Well, I would say as someone who's 48 and who's always wanted to be a college coach and got to coach at my alma mater for a little bit, my my own wise sage advice would be to do your best to try to get a grad assistant position so you can get into that mix right
Yeah,
away. Because if you, at least in my experiences, once you get away from it, it's very difficult to get back in. So if you can find a grad assistant position somewhere, even if it's at a someplace who knows where in the middle of Iowa or wherever. Not that
yeah,
Iowa's a great place, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that would be my advice to you,
yeah.
a
So
recommendation.
that's kind of the avenue I'll go. Since I'm like in grad school right now, I don't know if I'll go back and get another grad degree, but there are some like assistant coaching jobs that pop up that they just like that you're an athlete in the sport and you can help out in different avenues. So hopefully, the couple of those jobs pop up. Maybe coach at Lynchburg if that opportunity comes up. So they know who I am. I've been in the program, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I agree that going grad position is definitely the safest route for it, and that's how most coaches get in. So if I need to be to take another like degree or something, I mean, if they're paying for it, I mean, why not take it, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
What is your undergrad in, or what are you getting your master's in?
Yeah, so I got my undergrad in health and physical education, so
Nice.
similar to coaching, and then I'm getting my master's in business and sports management.
Right
So
on.
I think it's a pretty good combo for what I want to do, and kind of keeps a couple avenues open if coaching doesn't work out. But I hope it works out.
And do you have all three seasons next year?
I have cross country and outdoor, so no
Okay.
indoor. So I'm actually being a volunteer assistant coach, and I think that's kind of getting my foot into the door and getting to know some coaches on a more personal level. So uh, we've got some things set up that are going to hopefully help me succeed later on. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Curious, you mentioned, go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry. I could keep asking questions. I
You're
don't want
good.
to.
You're good. Sam, you got your first national title this year. You were eight-time All-American prior. Obviously, you won it in the DMR, but this is your first individual. Do you feel like you were built into this? Do you feel like it eluded you at a certain point, or do you feel like it was right on time?
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good question. I mean, I've been at the national stage for I guess since 2021 now, and 2021 I was not expecting to win or anything like that. I was happy to be there. I wanted to get All American, but I wasn't expecting to win. Um, Ever since then, I've always had my eyes on wanting to win one, um, but I never really put myself in the race to do it. But this year, after winning the indoor title with the guys, that really like kind of changed my mindset of like, why not? Like, why can't I go win it? I've been there so many times. I train with the best guys in the country. Um, like I know I can do it. I just have to go do it. And then to start the race for the final and for the 1500 this past couple weekends ago, went to the front of the race. I've never front run in my life. I don't know what happened. I don't know what took over me. I literally went to the front and I ran the whole thing in the front. With a lap to go, I made a move, and I know I have like one of the better kicks in like D3. So I was I was kind of like surprised that no one really wanted to take it and make it faster because it was a pretty slow race for the field. Like it was 3:51 to win, and everyone in that race has ran at least 3:47 or something like that. So it was fairly slow. And then I just with 100 to go, I was like, I think I got it. I think I got it. I look back, and I don't really see anyone, and I'm like, oh crap, did I just win a national title? Like that was crazy. And I saw all my friends there, and I point up to the sky for two reasons. Like Frank, our teammate, passed away this season, and he was a huge impact on my life as well as like the whole team. And so that was for him, and obviously for God. And then I went to go celebrate with the team, and it was really emotional. It was really cool. But yeah, I mean, it took a lot of time to get to that confidence where I thought I could win it, and they finally came true, I guess.
I appreciate you sharing that with us. I also appreciate you sharing and bringing up Frank. We know he was a big part of the team. How did you guys rebound and have the season that you had with that happening in the middle of the season?
Yeah, honestly, I give that all to God because I don't know how we did it. He passed away right before our conference meet, and we didn't even know if we were going to run it. We were all so mentally wrecked and sad, obviously, and it was a lot. And we just said, you know what, Frank, Frank was the best competitor we knew. He would have done anything for us to get out on that line and run for him or just for the team. He did not like losing. He didn't like losing, more than anyone. Like he hated it. He hated losing to us too. Like he hated us losing to us in practice or in the race or something. So we're like, we have to do it. We have to do it for Frank. And we ended up squeaking out the win. For like it was the closest it ever was. I think it was like I don't know 5 points or something like that from first to second place as a team. And yeah, that gave us a lot of confidence knowing that like Frank wants us to do this. His family even told us like we want you guys to run for Frank. Don't give up just because this tragedy happened. Like just keep chugging along. Do it for him. Do it for the team. Like there's so much more out there. Just have fun with it. Do it for Frank. And we have a saying, run like Frank, because every time he stepped on the line, he was going, crazy. He was going as hard as he can, nonstop. So, that was kind of, the end of the season was just run like Frank. And I think at nationals, that's what I did. And I just ran like Frank. And, you know, he won the national title for me. I didn't do that. Like he took over, God took over as well, just watching over. So it was a really cool moment. And it was really hard at first, obviously. I mean, losing one of your best friends is terrible, but just knowing that he'd be so proud of us right now is what kind of kept me going.
Amen.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing
yeah,
that with
man,
us.
that's an amazing way to commemorate your teammate and cap off a season for yourself. And man, that's a beautiful thing. And I also saw you guys. I saw on your story you guys were some sort of an award or something you were getting made up today. Did I see that correct?
Yeah, so on our hat, like this hat right here, Burger Track Club, it's kind of our like brand, I'd say. Me, Jason and I kind of started it, and everyone on our team is part of Burger Track Club. We just thought it was really funny. We call like all of our friends like burgers when they do something like stupid, like I don't know, like for example, like Randy, one of our teammates, he like tripped in a race or something. Like, dude, you're such a burger. Like it's just goofy, and we just made it Burger Truck Club, and um, we just started that, and we kind of partnered with Artican a little bit. Artican's like these bracelets. I have one on right now that says Burger Track Club. And then on the, like, it comes on like a wooden panel. And on the wooden panel, it says Run Like Frank with a picture of Frank. So I'm so glad we were able to partner a little bit with Artican and make something to honor Frank as well as, support Burger Track Club. So it was kind of a win-win-win, like a triple win, honestly, for us, for the Artican, and for Frank. And we're definitely sending one to Frank's parents. So I'm super excited for them to see that, and we're able to honor him even more. And we're going to continue to honor him in everything we do, honestly.
Is that stuff going to be available for the public?
Yeah, yeah. So we bought 100 of them. So we'll post it on our Instagram story. You'll probably see it on my story. You'll see it on Burger Track Club's Instagram as well. When they're available, probably available later this week. They're getting shipped over right now. So once they come out, yeah, I mean, they'll be on our store. If you want to buy one, maybe I'll send one your way. We'll see. Yeah. So yeah, stay in touch, and yeah, I'm super excited about this.
Are those hats available too?
See, the hats, they're all sold out. These things were super popular, so we got to get more of these, but they will be back. I was surprised how many people love these hats. We took them to the national meet to sell a couple, and we're like, oh, maybe people will buy one or two, but ended up selling out. So it was really cool. A lot of support. It was actually funny. I raced this guy in the 1500, and he was wearing the hat like while warming up, and I was like, you're really supporting us before I race you at the biggest stage that we have. So I don't know. It was really cool. And that's just the Division three culture. We're all so close. I have so many friends that are on different teams. And that's why I love Division three, because it's not really like any, beef. There's no beef in Division three. It's just like friends having fun. We're not running for scholarships or money or anything like that. We're just running because we love running, and we love competing against the best Division three athletes they are. So it's kind of a little tangent, but
no, you're
I
good.
just,
That's why we had John. We want to hear these things. I'm curious with the lay of the landscape in college sports these days. NIL is a big thing, and you got making money selling hats and doing those sorts of things. Is that something that you've dabbled with or looked into? And then also, I'm curious with your performance and that sort of stuff, how also having a season of cross and a season of outdoor track, have any other schools reached out to you or any of those sorts of things?
Most schools have really reached out to me, but I don't know if it's like because I don't think they're allowed to, since I'm not like in the transfer portal.
Right.
I think that's how it works. I don't really know. But I mean, NIL, like, I haven't really reached out to a ton of like people to try to get NILs. I reached out to Gooder because I love
I was
Gooder
going to say you should
sunglasses.
get those sunglass sponsorship.
Yes. So I wear sunglasses in most of my outdoor races because my eyes get really sensitive to the light. And whenever I like finish a race, they're like, I don't know what happens. I get like a bad headache, and I makes me want to puke. This might be TMI, but so I always wear sunglasses because it keeps my eyes kind of relaxed after the race. It's probably people probably think I look like a douchebag or something while I'm running in sunglasses, but it's not because, and most of the times it's just the sun. It was pretty cloudy on the national championship day, but I just wanted to be safe. I didn't want to puke, so I wore them, and I wear them for most of my races, and they're always Gooders. So if Gooders watching this, I would love some type of NIL. Dude, you don't have to give me money. If you just want to send me like a free pair every month, that'd be perfect too. I would share it everywhere.
You said you contacted them? Have you heard from them?
Yeah, they said they weren't doing anything. So I
Come
mean,
on, Gooder, you're better than
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Sam, I'm gonna make you a clip. We'll clip it up. We'll tag them in it. We'll spread that. We'll get you some free glasses.
awesome. That'd be huge if I could get the Gooder NIL deal or some type of deal. I don't even care what it is.
Do you have a favorite style?
Yeah, I just like the all black version. It's just
Yeah.
black frame, black lenses. It's pretty basic. So I don't even know. I think it's called the Ginger Soul because it's all black. I think it's just supposed to be funny because
Okay.
like gingers have no soul or whatever. But they always have these funny names for all the Gooders. So yeah, I think they're pretty cool.
Would you be open to a sponsorship from another sunglass company?
Depends. It depends. Maybe.
Okay.
I have to try them out, and if I like them, then yeah. I mean, I don't really. I guess I'm not really biased towards one company. I've tried Gooder and they work. If another company works and they want to support, me, then that'd be great too. I mean, I'm not complaining.
Are you familiar with Pit Viper?
Pit Viper, I am. I am. I think those are a little too big
Too
for me
much?
personally. Too
Okay,
much for
okay.
me personally.
All
But
right.
they're pretty cool. I see a lot of people wearing them, but I don't know if I could pull them off.
All right. I was gonna say I might be able to make a connection there. I have a ex old friend that knows the CEO.
Uh-oh. Oh gosh. Maybe if they come out with a less like maybe a little more tame version, then
Yeah,
maybe.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I could get behind that.
Right on. Um, so Frank, I got one more for you, and then
No,
Jimmy, if you got
Sam.
anything.
You just
I'm
called him
sorry, I don't
Frank.
know. I said Frank. I don't know who do we talk of as Frank?
His teammate.
My teammate
Oh,
Frank.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. Um, you mentioned balance and having a good balance of being able to kind of step away from stuff and then also lock back in when you need to. So I'm curious, do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I mean, I have quite a few hobbies, which I guess is pretty healthy to have a lot of hobbies that are outside running. I love to golf. I love to bowl. Um, I like to play video games from time to time. I have a girlfriend, so she's a hobby in itself. So I mean, I have a lot of outlets, and I have a lot of like pretty close friends that don't don't run. And I think that's a pretty big, you know, that's it's a really good outlet to have friends that don't run because you don't go and hang out with them. They don't talk about running. They don't not necessarily they don't really care about your running, but it's like, hey man, like we don't know what you're talking about, so let's like do something else. Let's talk about something else. And like, you know what, that's good. And I want to get away from the sport a little bit sometimes, and because I don't want to just be valued just as a runner. You know, I want to be valued, you know, as a person with other hobbies and friends that see me more than just a runner. And I hope to see other people that way too. So I think it's healthy to have multiple hobbies. But yeah, golf, bowling, video games. What else do I like to do? I work at a running store, so I guess that's not a great example. But we don't really talk about running. It's more just like talking about shoes. So yeah, I mean, spending time with my family. Yeah,
How's your golf game?
golf games not great, not
Okay.
great, but I can be good. It depends, on the day because I don't play because I don't have the money to play like every day like some people, but when I play, I try to play my best. Sometimes I'm pretty good, sometimes I'm really bad. It's just how it goes. But yeah, I try to play as much as I can. I actually got in trouble my sophomore or junior year because I was playing too much, and I got like my hips got really tight from like hitting the ball all the time. So my coach was like, "All right, you gotta chill out on the golf a little bit. Maybe just go like once a week, not 3 times a week or something like that." So golf in Lynchburg is really cheap, so I could afford it then. But in Northern Virginia, it's like quadruple the price of it in Lynchburg, so um, I can't play as much, which is probably a good thing. So, but yeah,
Are you familiar with speed golf?
speed golf. I've seen videos on it. That'd be kind of cool. I think I'd shank it too much to finish a hole in a good time. So
It might maybe if you could dial in your golf game a little bit with your turnover and your foot speed, you might be
yeah,
pretty spectacular. We get your
yeah,
handicap down.
yeah. That might be a good idea. I have to check it out. Maybe I can try a hole. I actually live on a golf course, like right off a golf course. So when it comes around like 8 o'clock, where all the golfers get off, I usually play like 1 or 2 holes and just head back home. I don't pay or anything, so I just kind of hop on. Maybe I should try that out tonight when I hop off of this and see what I can do.
We got to get you some headlamps and some glow in the dark balls.
Yeah, yeah.
Sam, you got your 9 All-Americans. You got 1 year left. What are the goals for the last 2 seasons you got left?
Well, I've never been a cross country All American. I was 2 spots off it this year. I got 42nd and top 40 get All American in cross country. So I guess that's one goal. That's a personal goal, but team goal, we got ninth last year. We were a really strong team, but I think we could be better this year with all the freshmen that we're getting. Um, and we have people like Marco on the team that were really good. They just kind of weren't as great, or it kind of beat up towards the end of the year in a cross country last year. So I want to try to. I don't want to say we're going to get top five or something like that, but just be really good on the day as a team. And I think if that happens, that we could maybe win the thing. We never know. But yeah, I mean, trying to get a cross country All American, that's kind of like a personal goal. And since I have outdoor next year, the record for Lynchburg track All Americans is 10, and I have 9. So maybe I try to do the double 1500, 800 double next year. I did it 2 years ago or last year. And it worked out pretty well. So maybe if I can try to go for the win in both, that'd be awesome. But you never know who's gonna, be a stud next year. Someone could come next year and be like 338 or run 147 or something in the 800. So I never wanted to say it would be like a goal to win both, and when you don't know the circumstances and you don't know how you'll be, fit that time of year. So many things can play out, but just honestly, just try the best that I can to make this team a great place when I leave it. We have such a great freshman class coming in, and I think they're going to be the next culture change that I kind of had when I came in. And I think once they take over, Lynchburg is going to be at the top for a while. At least I hope so. And I think they have so much talent. They all love running. They're all really bought in already, which is crazy. Freshmen usually come in and they're like, lifestyle is kind of crap. They haven't really run that much. They don't really care about running as much as they do. But then they kind of get better as not better, but like they kind of like the sport and get their lifestyle better later on in their career, and then they stop popping off their junior senior year. But they're kind of already locked in, and I think if they just continue to be consistent, our team's gonna be really good. So my main goal is just move this team to another level and just be the best, support character I can, while being the best athlete I can as well.
You said you want to leave it better than it was when you got there. You've done a pretty good job representing the school. What do you want your legacy, or how do you want to be remembered when you leave, that the freshmen talk about you when you're gone?
Yeah, that's a good question. I never really thought about that. I guess just, you know, as someone that leads as an example, I don't know, I mean, the accolades are great, but at the end of the day, I'm sure somebody will pass me in school records or whatever, and that doesn't really, last forever. But the impact you make on people's lives, that will last forever. And hopefully, if I can lead by example and show, the high schoolers that are coming in, that you're valued as a person as much as you're as a runner, but we want to make you succeed as a runner too, um, and just show them that just buy into what we're doing, and you're gonna have a great life after your running life, as well as make some great friends and great connections. And if they ever need me, they can just text me. I try to text them as much as I can after they race. I see them PR, I send them a text like, dude, you're killing it. And I think personally, I think it helps with recruiting a lot. So if they can help recruit as well, some new high schoolers that want to come in their junior or sophomore year or whatever, that'd be great too. So I just want to make impacts on the people that come in here's life, and that's all I can hope for. I try my best to. I hope I have made some impact, but uh, yeah, I mean, if they remember me as that, that'd be great.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sam, you made an impact on me. So
For real.
I really stoked to have a conversation with you here today. You're got a good head on your shoulders. You got a good IQ for the sport and a good outlook on everything. And I would love to have you as a teammate back in the day when we were getting after it. It'd be a good training partner to have. So honor and a pleasure to have you on for a conversation. Jim, you got anything else?
Final four,
Final
but I
four?
I agree with Rich 100%. It's almost hard for me to believe that there was a point in your life where you weren't eligible to run, because you're very well spoken and you seem like a very, smart young man. So I almost feel that you have evolved as you've become a runner, and you found almost your identity in the sport.
Definitely, and I don't want to take any credit for that. That's all my coaches. They kind of like built me up to be like a person I am now. Like I wouldn't be where I'm at without my coach and without my girlfriend and my friends. Like they've all built me up, and I'm just living proof that people support you. Like you can be super successful in many ways, and you can really change your life around. So I'm always grateful for that, and grateful for God for getting me here. So high school, it was a really rough time, but I'm glad I've kind of changed my life around and got some help doing so.
Well, thank you for sharing with us. Like Rich said, we really enjoyed this, but let's get in the final four, right, Rich?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All
To
right.
do it.
Sam, are you a coffee drinker?
Yeah, I drink coffee. I wouldn't say I'm like a religious coffee drinker, right? But I'd say 3, 4 times a week, if that makes me a coffee drinker. Like, like today I had coffee. I guess if you're asking today, yeah, I'm a coffee drinker. Tomorrow I might not be, just depends on the day. I enjoy coffee. Yeah.
All right. Do you have a preferred way to brew it and take it?
I either like it kind of two ways, right? I either like it like just plain black coffee, just plain Jane, or I just get like a vanilla latte, which is like kind of a little fruity, but I don't really care. It tastes good to me and gets the job done. But usually those two ways or nothing.
Are you getting those out or are you making them at home?
Um, Depends. I mean, if my dad like makes some coffee, I'll be like, "Yo, can you make me some too?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Or if I'm like out and I want some coffee, I'll stop by like Starbucks or Dunkin'. But we actually have a coffee shop like on campus, and usually, and I'm a GA right now for the College of Business, and I um I usually just go down. It's in the same building, so I usually just go down and grab some coffee, to the black coffee or a vanilla latte, and also our cafeteria has coffee as well. So when I'm at school, I drink more coffee than when I'm home because it's
Okay.
so like it's always there. So yeah.
You're definitely a coffee drinker.
Definitely a coffee drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Sam, do you have any practices or rituals that you do on a regular basis to show up as the strongest version of yourself?
Oh, what a question. Um, I mean, not really, really. I mean, I wake up and I just kind of just go with whatever life takes me. I mean, I pray every day. I mean, I don't know if that is really a ritual. That's just kind of my life. I just thank God for everything and pray for people and stuff like that. But that's not really how I usually end my day. And that I don't really start it usually doing that. But um, if that's kind of a ritual, then yeah, that'd be one.
That's definitely a ritual.
Yeah.
Sam, what are you listening to right now? Music, podcasts, audiobooks? Are you reading anything?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So I listen to basically just one podcast. It's called On Coaching Podcast with Magnus and Marcus. They just literally just talk about the science of running and the emotional side of running, the mental side of running. There's so much they talk about. They're really, really smart guys. And whenever I drive home from like Lynchburg or on like a long run or something like that, I'll throw that on. And for music, I'm mostly just listening to country nowadays. I mean, the new Morgan Wallen song with Post Malone's pretty good. Um, but yeah, just mostly country. And I used to listen to rap, but rap's kind of fell off. I don't really like it as much. I don't know. It's kind of all the same nowadays. But
It's low
yeah, mostly
vibration too.
yeah. But yeah, just mostly country, mostly country.
Is that something that came to you when you arrived in Lynchburg? Has that grown on you since you got there?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Like I stopped listening to. I mean, I don't stop listening to rap, but I've listened to it less as I've gone through my years in Lynchburg. I didn't really listen to country at all, and then I got to Lynchburg. I don't know if there's a correlation or if it just now it's more popular. I'm not sure, but yeah,
Probably
definitely
a little bit of both.
a little bit of both. Yeah.
You reading anything right now?
Am I eating anything?
Reading.
Reading.
Oh,
Reading.
reading anything? No, I'm actually not a huge fan of reading. If I have like something in mind, I just like look it up or I ask people. But I'm not a huge fan of reading. I wish I was, but honestly, I probably should probably get into like audiobooks because I think that's more how like I'm wired. But no, I'm not a huge reader. I want to be, but like,
Right on.
I just can't do it. And maybe I have a little ADHD or something. I don't know.
You're also a college student, so you're probably doing a lot of reading for classes and those sorts of things. So
Yeah, I probably am like sick of reading maybe then,
yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Sam, last one I have for you. Do you have a guilty pleasure or guilty pleasures? Could be
You play.
food. You're old
Ooh.
enough now, maybe you like a craft beer. We talked a little
Uh,
bit about music. Are you a closet Swiftie?
oh no, definitely not a closet Swiftie. I listen to too much Taylor Swift with my girlfriend around. So I'm definitely not a huge fan. I mean, she's okay, but um I guess my guilty pleasure would be if you had to ask anyone on my team, is that I like love Coke, like not the drug, the drink, Coke. So I mean whenever after it's like a summer run, I just love a nice cold Coke. I mean that's just can't beat it. And if a casual like high noon, if you're familiar,
Hmm.
those are really solid too. Um, but yeah, I mean other than that, I mean I have a sweet tooth. I love chocolate and sour stuff. So I mean I'm just a normal guy, just eating whatever's there and it tastes good. I'm gonna keep eating it.
Right on. Right on. Do you prefer a can and a Coke? Are you a glass bottle guy? Do you prefer the
Oh,
ones coming from down in Mexico with the pure cane sugar?
100%, 100. Mexican Cokes are undefeated,
Yeah.
undefeated. So that's probably number one. Number two would be like a McDonald's Coke. Those things are like crack. And then three would be just like a normal can. But yeah, those can't beat them.
You know, McDonald's gets a special blend, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
My
crazy.
mom is actually in like the food service industry, so like she knows all about that like weird recipe, not recipe, but like the blend, right?
Mhm.
So their Coke is like literally like legitimately just better because of how they get it done. I don't know exactly how they do it, but it's so good.
Sam, it's been an honor, a pleasure chatting with you tonight. We really enjoyed this conversation, and we are excited to continue to follow you next cross country season. We're hoping you have a great summer so you get that All American certificate in cross country the first time, and then we will definitely be rooting for you for outdoors, and we'll be looking for you in the coaching ranks here shortly
Awesome.
too.
Yeah,
So
thank you. It's been a quick hour. I looked down at my watch. It's been an hour. I'm like, holy crap! I guess you guys are just you guys are pros now. You know how to get this going. I guess I can talk for an hour. I was a little worried that I'd have run out of things to talk about, but you guys kept me on it.
before I forget, we should have done this when we got on here, but if you can and you want to, let all the people know where they can find you on the socials, Burger Track Club, Lynchburg, anything you got. You want to shout out the
Mhm.
socials? I'll also put those in the show notes for you, but the floor is yours.
Oh, sweet. So Instagram, Sam.Lanessa, but more importantly, follow Burger Track Club and Lynchburg. I think it's Lynchburg underscore distance for you'll probably see more of the team doing that, obviously. So um, follow that. Other than that, I really don't have any other socials, but yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. Good luck with your summer. Train hard, but not too hard. Train smart. And yeah, have a great summer.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
Yep.